like I was saying before, like you said about not understanding, you know what, on the other side of that, a person that had sight like me and lost it, you know, I'm more accommodating. I'm more accommodating with people.
So you know what we do? We need to say I want to pause it right here and tell you just one thing. So Jenny, so listener, as we say in the radio business, we'll be right back. You can put in a commercial right here. But for me, on my side, I'm really pleased to say, Jenny, do you love coffee?
They say that your body's 80% water or whatever. I think my body's 95% coffee.
Well, I have just the thing. I got the thing to make your body 100% coffee. 100%.
That's what I want.
Why don't you listen to this sponsored segment? Aaron's Opinion is this episode of Aaron's Opinion is of course brought to you by blendedjoe.com, BLENDEDJOE.com. If you want fruit in your coffee, if you want spices in your coffee, if you want nuts in the coffee, that's the coffee I'm drinking right now, some pralines and something else. Let me take a sip. Let me just remind myself how perfect it is. Okay, try not to try not to choke on the product, but it really is the best product, really is the best coffee. Whether you're from the land up over or the land down under, we guarantee that if you're home, at your couch, or you're on the go, I promise you'll love every sip from Blended Joe. 20% off all purchases until the 31st of August. So Jenny, you got to get to that website really quickly.
I will check it out.
Everybody, and when you're at checkout, don't forget about that promo code Aaron, AARON. Save 20%. So
perfect. Sounds great.
So that is our sponsor. So anyway, yes, as you were saying, you think that you have maybe more empathy and more compassion, but go on with that. Yes. Mm-hmm.
I absolutely do. Like, you know, I mean, in the supermarket, once upon a time, someone banged into me or ran into me, I'd be like, you know, okay, whatever. But now as a blind person, you know, my mum or whoever I'm with can see, of course. But, you know, if someone bumps into me, I don't go, are you right? I just like, well, hang on a minute, maybe they can't see, or maybe they're just whatever. I don't get like angry like I used to, because you know what, I'm going through that now, and I will bump into people not realizing, and then they'll turn around and say, are you all right? I'm like, well, I'm blind. Oh, I'm so sorry, or whatever. Some are just like horrible, but some, for the most part, they're quite, you know, they're quite accepting and saying, well, I'm really sorry, I didn't realize. But it just made me more empathetic, more accommodating to others. You know, I just find that, you know, well, I'm going through some stuff, well, maybe they are too. And, you know, even if they can see, well, maybe they're just having a bad day, you know. And I just don't jump on someone anymore unless they're really attacking me. And I'm talking on Facebook now. If someone's really attacking me, I don't really have a cross word to say about anybody. I never have. But if someone's attacking me, or if someone's attacking a friend of mine that I do believe has no merit or no reason, I will defend my best friends or my friends and my family or myself. Other than that, I won't. Like, I won't. I'm not the first to say, I just don't bite. They're just not worth my time and energy. You know, I don't want negativity in my life. So, you know, but if someone attacks me on a personal level, then all bets are off. You know, I will defend myself, because if we don't defend ourselves, who will? So, you know, I mean, I will always defend my friends, and I'll always defend myself, you know, because, you know, we're blind, but it doesn't mean that we deserve to get stepped on. I mean, shoot, we have functioning brains. You know, people think that we lose our eyesight, we lose our ability to think, to function for ourselves, when we don't. You know, we're perfectly capable people. We just can't see what we're doing anymore. That's it. That's all it is. Doesn't mean that we've lost the ability to talk, to make a coffee, to go to the bathroom, to go for a walk. We can still do all those things. We just can't see to do it anymore. You know.
Right.
And I always say, because like I told you before, God saved my life. You know, He has saved my life. But I'm so much better off than a lot of other people. And I have to keep telling myself that there are so many people It's the old saying, but it's so true.
Right.
There are so many people way worse than me, you know, and
Sure,
mm,
definitely. Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, absolutely, you know, and I just thank God for everything I have today, you know, and my family and friends, you know, and like I said, you just think about all the other people that are worse off, and you think, you know what, my life's actually not too bad. So
Yeah.
hold on to that, you know, and just think about other people. Again, when you're in the moment, it's very difficult. It really is difficult to pull yourself out of it, you know, like, because when I'm in a dark place, you know, it's strange for me to say this, but it really is true. Even though I see black, when I'm in a depression or in a dark place, I see darker than black, because my mind's just switching off. And you know, you
Yeah.
think you can't do worse than black. Well, you can, you know.
Yeah, I think this is listener. I think from the bottom of my heart, I think this is a really profound issue here in the States. This is a, or in my part of the world, this is a major issue, and so many people are not getting the care they deserve, and
Yeah.
it's a serious problem.
Yes, it is.
Um, and in my country, many people who suffer from mental illness, um, many of them either end up homeless or end up in prisons. Um,
The same here, but over
yeah,
here, suicide. It's heartbreaking. It
yeah.
really is. I mean, mental health in Australia is getting a lot of attention, a lot more attention than it should
Hmm.
have done years ago. Men
Yeah,
are speaking out. Everyone is starting to speak out and get help now, because we are getting the facilities and the, you know, resources for those people to get the help they need. But it's only because, you know, like, I don't know, it's brought to someone's attention, all of a sudden it just gains momentum. And I thank God for that, because, you know, mental illness is so bad. It's so bad over here. And, you know, are you still there?
yes, yes.
Oh, good, good, good. It's so good. I mean, it's getting momentum, which is what it should have done a long time ago. You know, people don't need, you know, they need those resources and help to go to, and it's really gaining momentum over here. And I also wanted to touch on blindness. I actually feel this, to be honest. I really do think Australia maybe, but I honestly believe that blindness and vision impairment is getting, it's getting a voice. I think it's getting a voice around the world. I think we're starting to get heard. It's taking a long time, but I honestly believe that we are actually starting to get heard more.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think it's easier now than ever. Just come onto Zoom, come onto podcasts, make a video.
And exactly, like people like you, which are making
It's
things
it's
being, like, you're making us
significantly
aware.
right. And
Yeah.
I'm helping Australia. I'm helping someone in Australia just by me helping you. I am helping literally maybe millions of other, thousands of other blind people in Australia who might listen to this episode.
Exactly, and we need more of that. You know, like I want to. You were saying about what I, you know, what I like to do. I mean, I want to start a YouTube channel. I'm not very good at it, but I want to start a YouTube. You know,
We'll start a podcast, start a YouTube. It's really easy with this one software I use. Um, as we're, it's kind of a long story, but actually I don't, the YouTube video is produced automatically, so you don't even need to lift a finger. Doesn't
mhm,
require It requires very little energy to start a YouTube channel.
mhm.
Which of course then is problematic because then we've got all these people on YouTube with all sorts of weird videos from all over the world, which is why it doesn't really take, you don't really need, I mean, you need skills to be a successful YouTuber, no doubt about it. But
Mhm.
really what you need to be a YouTuber is you just need your camera and you need a microphone, and then you just need stuff to talk about. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, but you should have a podcast, and I hope that I sincerely want you, and encourage you for you to share this particular episode with anyone in Australia or the world who's blind who needs to hear it, because
I will absolutely
I
100%.
know that if my episode helps only one other person, then it helped 2 million others. So that's the way That's the way
Yeah.
this works. And I believe I am a firm believer in karma, and I've seen it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to, it's very depressing. I'm not going to get into the stories, but I've seen people get hurt and I've seen people be helped. And the fact is that if you would only help one person, you don't have to worry about getting hurt because you're going to get helped yourself. But
And
so
that's
many,
all I want to do. I just want to
right.
touch one. If I
Well,
can touch
good.
one
Well, great. Well, great. Well, cool.
if
Cool.
I help
So on,
one person, I'm happy.
yeah, well, that's all that, that's all. So, I mean, you mentioned you're in Melbourne.
No,
And
I was born in Melbourne. I'm
ah,
now in Queensland.
Queens
Queensland's the best state in Australia. Come on now.
Queensland, right. So, okay. Well, so I'm not, I mean, I've heard of the place, but obviously I'm not terribly familiar. I've never been. Um, I'll tell you a funny story. My my father, a couple of years ago, my father went there for business with his friends or something like that, and to Australia, and he complained about the flight. I think he was exaggerating though. He said the flight is really long, but yeah, that can't be true. It can't be that far.
Yeah, it is. It is. It'll take you probably 23 hours to get here from the US.
I see. I see. So what?
And your father
So
was right.
and so what can you tell me about Queensland now? Is Queensland a city, a state, or is it both?
Okay, it's a state. So we have, all right, so in Australia, I'm on the southeast coast. So from going from the top, all right, so if you're looking at a map, if you're looking straight
Yeah, yeah.
down on a paper, you will see Queensland to your top right. Now below that, you'll see New South Wales, Sydney. Below that, you'll see Melbourne. Off to the right a little bit, it's still a part of Australia, but it's off on its own little island, is Hobart. Coming down around the right to the left of the page, in the middle, you'll have Adelaide. And then you go right around to the other side, the west side of Australia is Perth. And then coming back over to the top, you've got the Northern Territory. The Northern Territory is extremely hot. Perth is extremely hot. And obviously the lower parts of Australia are very cold. And Queensland is just stunning. I mean, it's pretty much amazing weather all year round. We're called the Sunshine State. So
Okay. So
Queensland's
basically,
got
you're saying like Queensland would be like a Florida or like a South Carolina, like beautiful all year round.
Yep. Yeah, we've got all the major theme parks. So we've got SeaWorld, Dreamworld, Wet and Wild, like the major theme parks, and a lot like we're water people. We love the water. You know, we've got amazing beaches, we've got amazing rivers. I live on the water. You know, we go out in the boat. We're water people. We love to fish. We love to boat. We love to jet ski. You know, we love to barbecue. Queenslanders and Australians in general, to be honest with you, love to barbecue and love to fish. In most of us anyway. But we just have amazing scenery. You know, it's like, I mean, I grew up here, and you know, I moved from Melbourne when I was 7. So I was still, I was still little. So most of my life, I mean, I'm 42 now, so I've been here 35 years. But, you know, I remember the Gold Coast. It's changed a lot now, but I still remember what it used to be and can imagine what it is now. But, yeah, we're known for beaches and things like that, like just, you know, yeah. So it's an amazing place to live. It really is. Like, I mean, we're in winter now, and it's a bit chilly. It is a bit chilly, don't get me wrong, but, you know, if you're in Melbourne, you'd be like 15 jumpers, 100 pairs of socks, you know, 3,000 beanies. You know, it's cold. But over here, a couple of, you know, a jumper and stuff, and you're good to go. It's a great city, that state.
I see. Excellent. And so then so now what is the capital city of your state?
Brisbane.
Brisbane. Got you. Got it. Okay. So then what activities are there to do in Brisbane?
Brisbane's actually pretty popular. Like, I mean, Brisbane isn't as popular. So Brisbane's the capital, but Gold Coast is where you go to do stuff. So Surfers Paradise is right on the beach. They're your clubs, your restaurants, your bars. You've got Broadbeach, you've got Southport, like that sort of end of the Gold Coast is where things happen. Brisbane is too. It definitely is too. You know, you've got your museums up there and stuff like that. But the Gold Coast, like my end and down, is really where the things happen. You've got all your theme parks here, you've got all your bars, your restaurants,